How's it going, guys? My name is Oliver and welcome to another Acolyte tutorial. Today we are going to be going over the Tommy Sunshine and Halfway House Can't Get Enough featuring Sarah Hudson Pegboard NERDS remix Laser Bass from the Drop. Whew. So this was a sound that was requested a while ago, but I was sick. I wasn't able to get to it, but here we are now. Before we start, I just want to say it was my birthday on Friday. So that's exciting, but what's most exciting about that is I actually got a really cool Foley recorder. So keep your eye out in the future for some Foley packs that I might be working on. Alright, without further ado, let's listen to the original song and then my version. Playing in 3, 2, 1. I'm addicted to Cool, I love that sound. So let's hear what I did. I think it could sound really close with the right sidechain and cymbals over top. So let's dive into how I made the sound. Alright, so this one took a little bit of finagling to get around. I have a bunch of different stuff that I tried out that didn't work. So we'll just have to ignore all this stuff. Okay, let's get into it. So Oscillator A is Matrixy C64, and that is in analog. And so we keep the unison settings the same. Octave down -3. Wavetable position is at the beginning. FM, we've got FM from B on here, and we've got that at 57%. Level all the way down to B, modulated by an LFO later. Oscillator B is solid phase 2. At spectral, and yeah, solid phase. So the wavetable position is at 71%, and then I've got sync on at 3.36%. Level all the way down because it's getting FM'd from Oscillator A, and nothing else has been changed. So let's listen to this without all these damn effects on it. Alright. Yeah, that's good. Oh, actually I should take off the post-processing. This is what it sounds like. That's pretty gross. Okay, so first thing we'll do is go into the filter. So we're using a high pass 12 here. It's under multi, not normal. High pass 12, and then the cutoff is at 580 Hertz. Resonance is at 28%, drive at 18%. Frequency is at 61%, and mix and everything else is normal. And we've only got it on Oscillator A because that's the only one we hear. Alright, so now let's hear what that sounds like. Cool. Alright. Now, let's get into the other effects. So hyper dimension, got the mix at 18%. And didn't touch anything else. Yeah, so just keep the mix at 18%. That does this. Just add some width and a little bit of phasing. Then I have a filter on with the cutoff at 99 Hertz, resonance at 16%, drive at 13%, and mix all the way down to be modulated. And so that sounds, oh, and it's a phase 48 minus. So that sounds like this. Because when you hear in the original sound, it's not completely all high end, and this puts a little bit of valley-ness into it. So moving on, distortion. I've got a hard clip distortion on, and drive is at 58% and didn't touch anything else, and this is what it sounds like. Just add some griminess. Flanger, I've got the rate at 0.13 Hertz, depth all the way up, feed is at 50%, didn't touch all that, and then mix is at 62%, and it does this to the sound. Just a little bit of flange going on. So next a phaser, rate all the way down, depth is at 25%, frequency is at 127 hertz, and feed is at 80%. I don't think I edited that. And then the mix is at 59%, so let's take a listen to that. Just kind of gives it that kind of velviness that you hear in the actual song. Next, EQ. So you've got the frequency of the first band, which is a cutoff. First band is at 229 hertz and didn't touch anything else. Actually, yeah, the Q is at 51%. And then band 2 is a peak band, frequency at 1512 hertz. And then the Q is at 61% and gain is down to negative 9.1. So let's hear what that does. Everything here is just adding more character to the sound. It's not actually making it louder or crisper or anything, but it's giving it those nicer tones, I guess, and valley-ness. Next is the multiband compressor. So always remember to turn this on. Threshold is at negative 8.9 decibels. Ratio is at 4.1. Didn't touch that. Didn't touch these. Release is at 67.9 milliseconds, and gain is all the way down. I didn't touch these either. So let's hear what that does. Just totally takes it to that next level. And then we've got a big reverb on, just to kind of fill in the space like it does in the original song. So the size is at 29%. Decay is at 5.5 seconds. Oh, and the mode is on Hall. Low cut is at 35% because we don't want too much of the low end getting reverbed. High cut is at 35%. And spin depth is at 27%. And the mix is at 32%. So let's hear what that does. Cool. So next we'll go into the LFOs. So the first LFO is on envelope at 1/4 rate, and then it's just going to the sync and it's going up 22. Alright, so next we have LFO 2, and that is going to the high pass, which is up 17. 18 apparently. 17? 18? Okay. And then what else is it on? So I've got it on the mix, going up 25. The phase cutoff going up 13. Nothing else. The phaser going up 20. And then the EQ frequency of the first band going up 11. And I think that is it. Yeah, so I didn't go up all the way just because when I was playing around with it, I found this to sound the best, and I didn't want to like tweak it at all, so I just kept it at like halfway instead of turning all of the knobs down. So I've got that on an envelope, same rate as the other one, BPM, all that jazz. Next we've got LFO 5. Where's LFO 5? What are you doing, bud? 5 is on master tuning. So I have it going up 10, and it's just got a little kind of drop like this, which totally adds to like the tone of the sound. Pitch mod. Alright, so let's do this. So this is before, after. It just makes such a huge difference. So the way I made this macro control the amount that the pitch was automated is I went into aux source here and then select macro 4. This slider lets you control the amount that the macro modulates the modulation, if that makes any sense. Cool. So when you're modulating the master tuning here, make sure you've got it on a single arrow pointing forward. Alright, next. So the last LFO is 6, and that's just on the level of the first oscillator. So that's, well, I guess it was at 80. In terms of macros, let's see. So this one is on the mix. So macro 1 is on the mix of the filter. So I've got the macro up at 42%, and it's actually affecting it at 100%. Next is the Oscillator B wavetable position. So this is macro 2 all the way up, and it's modulating the wavetable position of Oscillator B up 65. This one's called Vowliness. Let's see what this is on. So this is on the frequency of the first band, and I've got the knob at 59%. And then I've got the pitch mod all the way up, and you already saw what that is on. And that's your sound without post-processing. Try turning the distortion down. I like 47% better. So next, in terms of post-processing, I just got a simple EQ. So this is at 96 decibels per octave as a slope and low cut. And I just brought it down a little bit because I'd rather have the frequencies like fading out rather than like just getting chopped. And it just takes the lower end out of the Lazer that you can't hear as well in the song. So you can see with the more faded stuff here, that's how much we're cutting out, even if you can't hear it that well. So that more transparent stuff is all of this low end that would be affecting the dynamics of the sound without you actually being able to hear it, which you do not want. So the last thing I did was just put a stereo enhancer on it, and I just put the stereo separation up just a little bit to make it a tiny bit wider. Just to make it sound more like the song. I'm addicted to beautiful. And that's it. Yeah, so we use some more complex techniques here for the vocal aspect of it, but all in all, it's not a crazy hard sound. Like there's no crazy LFO modulation going on here. But yeah, so there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.